Hey everyone, it's Crystal Neath, your intuitive tarot reader, and I'm here with your February 15th, 2019 daily tarot reading for Friday. I don't know where the week went. It just went by pretty fast, but that's okay because we have the weekend coming up. So, of course, as always, we're going to get right into the message. And of course, when I do these readings, they are for anyone who finds their way to my channel. Of course, if you like these daily readings, make sure you share them on your social media site, whether that's Instagram or maybe Facebook or something like that. It helps more than you know. And also make sure you hit that bell so you're the first notified whenever these videos come out, so you can watch them early in the morning. I know some people like to watch them, or I should say in the rising. Some people like to watch them at night once their day is over, so that they can compare what I spoke about versus how their day went. So either way, whatever your style is, just make sure that you hit that bell so you are the first notified. Let's get right into the overall energy for Friday, February 15th, 2019. Overall energy for everyone watching, Spirit. Overall energy for February 15th, 2019. Okay, and you know what? I will pull one from the Egyptian deck. Okay, so we have Justice in reverse visiting us again. We have the Ace of Rods, or the Ace of Wands. We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse. And we also have the Moon in reverse. Okay, so let's get into it. First card out, it actually was the Ace of Rods. So whenever we see this card, as we know by now, and if you don't, the rods represent fire, passion, aggression. Now that I think about this, me and my friend were just speaking about how Mars just went into Taurus. So this card specifically makes me think about that, because anytime Mars, which happens to be the first fire sign, as you see this is a 1, goes into a certain house, it pushes that energy. So with the Ace of Rods, what it's telling me is, yes, this is great energy for, we still have a nice gap, you all, but of still starting projects and doing things if we need to. Anything that you energetically want to start, like a routine, whether it's like a health routine or working out or something like that, today would be a really good day to think about that. Also with the Ace of Rods, of course, yesterday, as we know, was the day of love, the day of partnership, all these things like that. The Ace of Rods isn't like that. It's about you, which, I mean, I get it, with Valentine's Day and whatnot, it is this energy of love, self-love, partnership, whatever. But the Ace of Rods is, okay, snapping out of it and getting back to you, getting back to, how was Valentine's Day for you? How was yesterday? How has it been, period? Have you really been putting yourself, have you really been putting yourself first? Have you been putting first those things that you need to get done? You are also, with this energy, it makes me feel like whatever you need to get done, go ahead and start doing it, whatever phone calls and whatnot. Also, as I was touching on and I got off track, the energy of Mars going into Taurus, which rules beauty and love and harmony and the finer things in life, money, even money. Okay, the Ace of Rods is saying, hey, you all, you can be seeing an increase in finances. Wherever you're putting your energy and your fire towards, you will see that build, because Mars is the planet of drive, action. It will push anything that you need to get done. So if you want to start a health routine, do it now. Mars can also push you to try to eat things that you might not want to eat in Taurus, I would think so. But we're going to look at it in a positive sense of starting new health routines, because Taurus is everything you eat, what you put in your mouth. So keep that in mind, okay? Also, with the Ace of Rods, if you notice that your energy is depleting, pay attention to what you're eating. I think also with that placement, a lot of heavy carbs and whatnot, Taurus can be very lazy. It can make you more sluggish. So watch that, because you should actually have pretty good energy today. Now, next we have the Eight of Swords, one of our favorite cards. Everybody on this channel must have this energy. So others of us will be feeling that fire energy. The other half will be feeling the swords, thoughts. Why didn't you, what did you do for Valentine's Day? Or, you know, was I stressed? What was I thinking about? Even to not even make it Valentine's Day, because we don't all celebrate, you know, I get it. The Eight of Swords period is an energy of feeling ostracized or feeling outcasted, I guess you could say, from a situation. Or even, I always call this like my mental prison card, because sometimes we put ourselves in these traps. We put ourselves in these obstacles that don't exist, when it's a matter of, and I'm not going to say they don't exist, because we all know how stressful life can be sometimes. But the Ace of Swords is saying you have to save yourself. You're not outcasted. Nobody can cast you out of anything, you know. And if you're finding that, you know, you feel outcasted, or you're feeling like things are a little off, find a new group of people to be around. Also, with the Eight of Swords, don't make things complicated today. Just stick with one thing. If you can get one thing done, if you can focus on one thing at a time, you'll do fine. Because with days like this, if you try to pile on too much, it can really be overwhelming, okay? Next, we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. As we know, the Knights are extreme. They're over the top, extravagant. They know everything. You know, it's us when we were teenagers. You know, when we were teenagers, you couldn't tell us anything. We had life figured out. So the Knight of Swords is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy like that. So it's even more of a, you can't hold me back. I know this. So watch out. Don't get into disputes with people. If you notice that, you know, you're seeing people not really understanding what you're saying, and they're acting like, you know, they don't really get it, call them up. Because I always feel like with the Knight of Swords too, you could be in a position of having miscommunication. We also have to remember Mercury just went into Pisces not too long ago, which is that planet of dreams and illusions and confusion sometimes. If you know a Pisces, they don't know which way to go sometimes. They don't know which way to go sometimes. So some of you might be feeling this, okay? Watch out. The Libra, Aquarius, Gemini might be feeling this a little bit more. But we all might. You might even find that your words are kind of jibber jabbered, like you're trying to say something and you can't. Kind of like when I try to read passages late at night, it don't work. You know what I'm saying? The words just won't come out. Okay, next we have the Justice in reverse. Okay, so watch it. Like I said, with Mars going into Taurus, this can cause, and Taurus rules Venus. You know, it's ruled by Venus. So I think about Libra is ruled by Venus too, which is Justice is Libra, ruled by Venus. Taurus, Mars being there, it's both Venus rule. So once again, that's the money. That's, you know, those type of things. So watch it. You can overspend today. You can overinvest. It's okay to do something nice for yourself, especially if you don't. If you don't balance things out, bring that beauty in. Okay, don't get in the arguments. Don't get in the political debates. Don't get in we're not really in a day and age of trying to convince people. I'm not trying to convince people to believe in what I believe. Either you're on and you still don't have, we can believe totally different things, but the only thing you have to believe is love. That's it. And to accept people for where they are. And if we're all trying to grow on a higher spiritual level, then that's fine. And, you know, so not the day to get into arguments, not the day to throw out your political beliefs or your religious beliefs, because it might not even go anywhere, okay? So the Justice in reverse shows a lack of harmony. It shows energy of disputes and dishonesty also sometimes. So you kind of have to watch that, okay? The Moon in reverse, once again, the Moon represents the the intuition. It represents the mother. It represents everything to me that is kind of like dark and unseen and spiritual. Okay, so you could, yes, a lot of you all could be dealing with things being exposed. And some of you all, don't get me wrong, might be turning around your thinking, you know, seeing beyond the veil, looking deeper into things that you never would have thought you would even be studying or have a curiosity about. Others of you will be digging digging for dirt, you know, going through the phones and whatnot. Try to watch that, okay? Because sometimes when you have this energy of the moon in reverse, it's kind of like being disconnected from the mother or something like that. But on a positive note, it could cause you to, like I said, look at things from a different angle when it comes to the spiritual and the unseen and, you know, seeing beyond the veil and whatnot. Okay, so I do want to pull an overall angelic message for everybody today. And we have unlikely. See what this is about. Unlikely. Let's see, unlikely. Where are you? 82. Okay, and it says, the situation you asked about is unlikely to occur as you are imagining it. There are many different versions of the events that might take place. Or it may be that what you asked about is simply not in your highest and greater good. Place your focus on alternative possibilities. I'm sorry, you all. Open your eyes to different opportunities. Be willing to experience a unique and uplifting outcome. And it may be different from what you planned for yourself. Okay, so what will I say as to how that ties into the message? Kind of like what we were speaking about with the swords all being here kind of jumbled up. With that unlikely message, it's saying, if you're noticing that you're kind of pushing against something, in one sense, we got the Ace of Rods. So this is good energy. This is kind of what we want to channel. Moving forward with new things, putting ourselves first, getting our energy out in maybe ways of like working out at the gym or something like that, or doing something that passionately makes us extremely happy. So that's cool. But where I feel like this unlikely message ties in is with all this swords energy we have. You know, it's unlikely to go the way that you see fit if you try to have that big debate today. It's also unlikely that with the Justice card in reverse, if you try to press your beliefs or maybe rewrite a contract or something like that, it's unlikely that it will go the way that you see fit. Okay, also another example I could use this is it's unlikely that if you try to make that relationship work today that's been stressful, it's unlikely that it will really go the way that you see fit. And sometimes, just like the card said, what we see fit is not always what is best for our higher and greater good. So try to be open-minded as possible today. Focus more on the fire elements of passion, what makes you happy, even you know, doing something nice for yourself. Don't go overboard, but try to stay away from the more complicated things. You know, push forward with certain tasks that you need to get done, but don't get too entangled with the taxes and trying to, you know, oh, let me cross my T's and dot my I's and I forgot to add that. Oh, where's that other ticket? Where's that receipt? Don't do that to yourself, because it's unlikely that it will go the way that you see fit, okay? With that being said, as you all know, I am Crystal Neath, your intuitive tarot reader. If you ever need a private reading with me, you all can always email me at crystalneath@gmail.com. Besides that, you all have a beautiful Friday, and I will see you tomorrow as always. All right.